Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Kathy's Corner, Seed in the Sand, and this is chapter 3 of Perspective. Soak it in. And what I wanted to talk to you today about was, I kind of compared myself to this person um, in Minnesota, and the more that I hear about it from media, which, is usually one sided and negative, and blows things up to sell papers, the more I don't want to associate myself with that person, because it does sound like they really did struggle with some darkness. And so what I wanted to say today was, it's easy to get wrapped up um, into a lot of this comparison thing, like what's happened to them and what's happened to me. But I want to separate myself from that, because, I don't know anything about this person, and what they did, or what their family did, or anything like that. I know nothing about them. And um, so it's hard. It's hard to not internalize that, um, those similarities. It's like it's happening all over again, but it is so much different. And um, that person is definitely their own person, and what happened to me is completely different, um, but also kind of the same in how they get treated. Um, so so it's hard to attach to it, and it's hard to not attach to it, because um, the similarities, the comments and the hatred towards that person and their family. Um, it's hard, because some ways it is so much alike, and some ways it is so much different. So, and it's all in that perspective again. Going back to the to the core, it's all in your perspective. And you know, maybe he was just, or she was just um, um, you know, a sick, and, you know, I don't want to say possessed or evil or whatever, but you don't just walk into a church one day and do that. That's different than what happened with me. And what happened with me involved my kids, and it was, an awful experience for everyone. Um, and it hurts me to compare the two. To say that people thought that I was this evil person, um, and terrible person for being in a psychotic state. And um, and it was like, you're in it and you're out of it, and you're in it and you're out of it. Like, it didn't stay consistent, where you're always in it or you're always out of it. It's hard to explain. But that psychotic state is a scary place. It's a terrifying place. And I don't know, like I said, I can't compare myself to anyone else. But for me, um, it was um, overwhelming and overtaking, and completely engulfing um, who I was. Um, and it took, a hospitalization for me to get the medicines that I needed, to get out of it. And oh, that's another thing. I have family that say, "Oh, at least you got your meds right. At least you got your medications right." And those dang meds, and um, you know, that's just one part of it. it hurts me when people say things like that too. Um, you know, sometimes it's medication, sometimes it's not, but in the matter of a psychotic event, it is medications, but it might not be the kind that I had here at home. So it's so hard to it's so hard to know what is necessary, what's needed in a psychotic event, and that person can get the help that they need. There's been so many stories of people that have gone over the edge too far, and yeah, so that just hurts. It hurts to think that there is a point of no coming back. So, all right, these are the classic tarot cards, and pick 3 cards. One for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. So for the past, we have the King of Wands, kind of that father figure of action, taking action, and he's got a little salamander on there, and some lions and things like that. So, all right, these are the 2 of Pentacles, which is balancing act between, should I, shouldn't I, will I, won't I, can I, can't I. So, and then the third one for the future is the 8 of Pentacles, which is doing that hard work. And I'm going to do one more to see if we can find a major arcana card. Judgment. We'll cover that up. And that's like the angel Gabriel on Judgment Day. I'll have a lot of questions on Judgment Day saying, why did this happen to one and not to others? Why did it have to happen? So, all right. And then these are the Healing Spirit cards by Gordon Smith. Okay. And it says, you have the power to make yourself better. It's a pretty card. All right. You're, the healing power of the spirit world will always be there for you when you make the effort to heal your own body, mind, and life. You might not be aware of it, but the moment you try to fix what is broken in your life, you might not be aware of it, but the moment you try to fix what is broken in your life, healing spirits will pour out their power, their pure compassion, to get back to full health and strength. Spirit helpers are working with you right now because they know that how important it is for you to get back to being the best you can be. Remember, the power of love is what connects you to spirit helpers and healers, and they are reminding you just how strong love is when it comes to the medicine you require. So, that love is a very healing love, and I try to portray love on, my podcast here, my video casts, that I love, I genuinely love the people that are watching and my family and my children. I genuinely love them. And so like how this happened, where it's like one incident in my life, 1 second in my life, 1 minute in my life can change your life forever, and everybody sees you differently because of it. Is is hard, and maybe it was meant to happen so that I did do this podcast, this video cast, and expressed it to people to make them understand, to make them, you know, say, it's not just black and white, it's not just right or wrong, it's not just good or evil. There's all this in between, and yeah, so I don't know. I guess I want people to understand how hard it is to live like this, and how hard it is to watch it happen again and again and again, and and it repeats itself. So, all right. Wish everybody a beautiful day. Have a good one.